Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Thank you for tuning in. Before we begin, none of this is legal, tax and or financial advice. Please always do your own research before investing. And let's get started with the news today. So this is based on the Unchained podcast. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but hosted by Laura Shin, and it runs weekly. The latest podcast talks about $5 million being injected into this new campaign started by KIK called defendcrypto.org to take on the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, and I'll just go through this blurb here very quickly. Ted Livingston, CEO of KIK and the founder of the KIK Foundation, and Patrick Gibbs, partner at Cooley, announced the formation of the $5 million defendcrypto.org fund at Coinbase custody to fight the SEC in court. KIK and KIK are hoping that a lawsuit would eventually result in a new Howey test for crypto tokens to determine which ones are a security. In this episode, they explain what has happened so far between them and the SEC to bring them to this point and what their main arguments are. Plus, they defend themselves against some of the evidence against their case and discuss what they can expect going forward. Full show notes are provided here in this Forbes article, and I'll provide a link to that as well. If you're interested in the podcast in general, here's the link to the homepage. As I said, every week there's new content and some very thought-provoking interviews with Laura. That's the Forbes article there. And then we have the same article on CCN. Now let's go over to the actual web page itself, the Defend Crypto campaign page. How it works is, in a nutshell, you choose one of the cryptos listed here. It's a Coinbase listed crypto, so it's not the full extent of them. And then you send crypto to that address, and then you show your support based on how much you're willing to give. And so far, this is what has been donated. So $5.25 million at the moment, with the breakdown of the cryptos there. I think it's sad that it's come to this. Now, just to give you my thoughts about it, it's frustrating to say the least. And yeah, it's quite depressing that it's come to this. The SEC should have just made up their mind by now. We do know that they've determined Bitcoin and Ethereum not to be securities, but that leaves everything else in limbo. We still have over 2,000 cryptos out there. Let's say we have dozens or maybe even hundreds of decent ones that the people investing in them and the teams behind them have a right to know exactly what is a security and what isn't. But the good thing is, at least, that many other countries have decided to not wait for the SEC decision, and they've created their own laws, and investors have said, okay, we see potential behind this. We look at the fundamentals, progress being made with infrastructure and the blockchain improving as well. People have said, okay, forget about the SEC. We'll just keep on going ahead. The thing that is also, and this was brought up as well in the podcast, so one of the things mentioned here was the fact that the SEC bases, well, from my understanding, there is the Securities Act of 1933 and the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, and this is on the official SEC website here. The fact that these laws, or these two, and then all the other laws listed here, governing cryptocurrencies, much of this was produced at the time of either just before or during the Second World War. And I think that is ludicrous. Well, we obviously know how much the world has progressed since then. Something based on laws from 80 to 85 years ago is just bizarre. I just don't understand why they haven't updated these yet. Anyway, I could go on, but I don't want to rant about that. I do want to draw your attention to this article here about how to determine if a cryptocurrency is a security or not using the Howey test. So Mina Down provides their input about this, and then further information there on this website here. Again, link in the description below. That's pretty much it. That's all I have to say about the topic. Let's see how this campaign goes. I just hope the SEC makes up its mind. We can all just move on and focus on trying to grow the cryptocurrency space and proving those naysayers wrong and get those prices up. Moving on to the next article. As you've probably seen, and I've actually got a video about this as well, with the Ledger Nano X launch. Big news, this new wallet that's an upgrade from the previous or the original Ledger Nano S. They've got this official announcement here talking about, or just trying to promote the new Ledger Nano X and all the benefits associated with that as well, and all these new features with it. If you haven't seen my other video, well, I'll give you a quick summary of some of the key points from that. The new features with the Ledger Nano X include Bluetooth functionality, and it's done in a secure manner as well. So further info there. Intuitive controls. So they've got Ledger Live, and that's the app that corresponds to the Nano X. So it makes it easier to use it on your phone. State-of-the-art security. So using CC EAL 5+ certified secure element technology to protect your private keys alongside their their proprietary built blockchain open ledger OS. Increased storage, I think this is a very useful feature because that was an issue with the Nano S originally. As more cryptos were added, with support, it made it difficult to support multiple cryptos simultaneously. That's some of the promotional info there. If you want a direct link to the website here, I actually have a link in the description below in regards to the Nano X and various Ledger products out there. So feel free to check that out. Before I go on to the last article, I actually want to draw your attention to this. And this is actually a segue to the final article with Binance. So Ledger made the announcement that there will be support enabled on the Binance Decentralized Exchange, or the DEX testnet. So this article here, or this blog post, with further information there, that's available for both the Ledger Nano S and then the Nano X as well. Information there about how it all works. I'll provide a link to that in the description. And to segue into the last topic of the video, we have more information about Binance. And a couple of weeks back, this was just after the hack, they released this information about 14 tips to enhance security for your Binance account. So I only just came across this now because Binance sent me an email a day or two ago. So here is a summary of some useful tips to help bolster security at your end when using Binance. So a bit of the spiel here. They say that security is the #1 priority at Binance. They have invested countless hours and resources into ensuring that the platform is safe from bad actors, including big data analysis and AI technologies to help us preventing attacks. Now, as I did mention, there was the big hack about 2 weeks ago when someone got in and stole Bitcoin. However, I do want to draw your attention to each and every Binancean has the power to ensure that the community remains SAFU, which is actually the acronym for their fund. I think 10% of all the trading fees go into this fund to help cover like an emergency in the event of a hack, and then ensure that users don't lose their funds, or that any losses that do occur are kept as little as possible. So some of the tips as follows here. I guess other than the common ones, with two-factor and authentication, checking your devices, using a strong password, so on and so forth. They also speak about, or they encourage people to use level 2 verification on the Binance account. That then allows you to withdraw a higher amount of crypto on a daily basis. More information on the Binance site about the verification. Some people may have their concerns about, well, could my data get stolen if that happens? Some people may have qualms about that, but I believe it is still fairly safe. So there's that. They encourage people to get level 2 verification for their Binance account. There's a Trust Wallet, which is the official. I'm actually going to just jump to that at the moment. That is considered the official crypto wallet for Binance. And back to the website there, it says that the official crypto wallet app for Binance provides you with a convenient way to securely store your funds away from third parties, with support for most major cryptos and all ERC20 tokens. And then info about how to download it and how you can integrate that on the Binance DEX as well. And then they give 7 procedures that relate to just improving your general security on your device. Make sure the internet's secure, so on and so forth. I mean, I could read these all. The information's on the website. Some of these, most of this you're probably familiar with, but if you're not, then it is essential reading. Before I jump to the crypto prices for the day, I do want to draw your attention to some information about what happens if you lose your PIN or the security codes, so the 24 secret words or a passphrase. Someone left a comment on one of the videos, and I just want to draw your attention to it. A great question in my opinion. So it says here, a couple of people have commented that it's possible to recover your crypto if the 24 words are lost. A person could just transfer the coins off the ledger and then create more words to transfer the coins back to a new ledger. If this can be done without the 24 words, why couldn't a thief steal the Nano S and do the same thing? Now, my understanding is, and again, thank you to that person for the question, if someone steals the device, actually, let me jump over to this. What it says here, according to Ledger, if you reset your device without holding your recovery sheet, the private keys providing access to your crypto assets will be erased. You will permanently lose access to your crypto assets. So my response to this person was, I'm going to assume that the only way the hacker could possibly try and transfer the funds to another wallet would be if they either have access to the PIN, or they'll need the secret questions, so one of the 24 words in the correct order, or even a passphrase if you're an advanced user and you've initiated passphrase as well. Without that, then if they were to try and attempt to reset a stolen Ledger wallet, then they couldn't access the funds because it goes into like a self-destruct mode based on what I've interpreted that. I still think Ledger is very secure. Word of caution. If you commit to buying a Ledger wallet or Trezor or any of those hardware wallets like cold storage, please always buy it from the official website itself or an authorized reseller, and there's a list of authorized resellers here. I'll provide a link. I don't have it on the screen, but we'll provide a link to that in the description below. There have been instances where people either buy a second-hand wallet or fraudulent wallet through a non-authorized reseller or not from the Ledger website, and usually the scam is the hacker, they've already activated the wallet, written the words in the correct sequence on a sheet of paper, then they submit that, they'll send that with the wallet to an unsuspecting user who then goes off and writes the numbers, and then they don't realize that someone else actually has a copy, not the numbers, I meant the words in the order. Every time you get a brand new Ledger wallet, one that's official, you won't have the words. You'll get a blank sheet of paper, you'll get a small blank card, the numbers 1 to 24, and then as you activate the device, you have to then write the words in the correct order on the sheet of paper as like a backup. If you ever get a wallet and you see words written on the sheet of paper, inform Ledger immediately, because it would be fraudulent, almost certainly fraudulent if that happens. That's a huge red flag. I want people to remain safe in the space. I know people in the past that have been hacked other than cryptocurrencies. I'm talking about scams in general, and that feeling is gut-wrenching. Let's not give these scammers the satisfaction. Follow the information on the official website. And anyway, I don't mean to waffle, but I just can't stress that enough. Let's wrap up with the prices here. So overall, the market is somewhat steady, and it's grown. Now it's grown over the past day or two, but it's remained steady overall. Just a slight dip or increase just 24 hours. Everything's up or down about 2 to 3%, with the exception of, don't ask me why, Bitcoin SV is up 17%. I don't bother with that. IOTA is up 21%. Some good news for IOTA team there. Been doing well. Scrolling down the page for the top 50, we have Holo, which is up 5.4%. And then PundiX is up nearly 9% as well. Don't know why. And that's the list of the top 50 there. Thank you again for tuning in. What are your thoughts on anything said there? I look forward to any of your feedback. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you enjoy the content in general and would like to stay up to date, feel free to subscribe and smash the bell icon if you don't want to miss out on any of the videos that I produce. If you think someone else will benefit from this, feel free to share it. And again, if you have some thoughts of your own that you want to leave, or just say g'day, leave me a comment in the comment section and I will respond to you within a day at the latest. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And I will speak to you soon. See ya.